In a globalized world, ocean carriers are facing the challenge of managing huge amounts of transportation resources, such as containers. You need to increase the visibility of transportation resources and forecast future supply and demand. You also need to increase resource utilization and reduce the cost per resource. Let's take a look at how SAP Transportation Resource Planning meets these challenges. Suppose you are a regional planner. To start with, you want to monitor the general stock and distribution of your containers. You log into SAP Transportation Resource Planning. The home page shows several tiles that are set up to show important information. You find that in Boston, the stock for some container types is below the safety stock level. Now you want more comprehensive stock information. In the stock view, you can select a location to check its stock information. Using the bar chart view, you can easily find out whether you have a stock deficit or surplus, and drill down to check the data for each container type. The map view shows the location of the depots that have alerts. In the status view, you can use the bubble charts to compare the current stock of a location with the set minimum and maximum stock. After checking current stock, you now want to forecast the future supply and demand of your resources. In the Supply and Demand Work Center, you receive alerts about imbalances in supply and demand. You can click a quantity to check the exact makeup of each supply or demand. The green slice in the pie chart shows that the demand comes from empty pickup. Click here to go right to the Empty Bookings view. Here you see related empty booking transportation units in your SAP TM system or other logistics system. You can even access your logistics system to view details about your transportation units. Back in the Empty Bookings view, let's find the voyage for the transportation unit. Note the voyage ID and then go to Moving Stock for more information. By clicking the voyage ID here, you can also check the freight booking for the voyage. Now that you have identified the supply and demand issues, you want to correct these imbalances. Let's go to the Resource Balancing Work Center. First, create a balancing simulation. Choose a supply and demand plan and a network setting group. The area at the left shows the same supply and demand data by location and resource type that you saw before. There are quite a few imbalances. You want the system to suggest activities for correcting these imbalances. Now you run automatic balancing. Then you receive a set of suggested activities for empty repositioning. Then you can update your simulation data to see how these activities affect the imbalances. This gets rid of most of the alerts, but the first two locations are still showing an imbalance for supply and demand. Maybe you need a route for moving containers from the surplus location to the deficit location. Let's check that in the side panel. The route does not exist. However, you can create a route to connect the two locations. First, you create a basic path in the current network model. Enter a means of transport, a carrier, distance and duration, and then refresh your totals. Now add a departure rule for the path. Choose a US time zone and the train will set off at 8 a.m. daily. Finally, specify the number of containers that can be carried by each departure, and then save your basic path. Now you can update the list of composite paths. This generates a composite path using your new basic path. When you go to the side panel, the new routes are ready for use. Now you can run automatic balancing with your new routes and update your simulation results. Thanks to the new routes, the supply and demand status is now completely balanced. If you're satisfied with the results, you can finalize the simulation and send the activities to your logistics system for execution. For each activity, you can also check the corresponding transportation units created in your logistics system. Now that your supply and demand is balanced, Let's go on to optimize pickup and return. For each empty booking, you want to find the optimal location for pickup or return of the empty containers. You want high efficiency and low costs. You can do this in the Pickup and Return Work Center. First, you need a rule set. You use rule sets to find the transportation units to be processed and to get suggested pickup or return locations. You can set up a rule set before you begin optimizing. Then you can select the rule set in the Location Assignment view. Now run automatic optimization. New pickup locations are suggested for all of the transportation units. You can also assign a location manually. Highlight a transportation unit, evaluate the suggested locations ranked in the table below, and then choose a location to assign. Finally, click Update in Logistics System. This sends the new assignments to your logistics system. The changes are executed there. You can also check the change history in the Rule Set Execution History view. SAP Transportation Resource Planning delivers support for planning, managing, and optimizing the use of your transportation resources. This ensures that the right resources are available to fulfill your customers' demands at the right time, in the right place, and at a minimal cost.